Elena and I had been married 7 years. 7 years that felt like one blissful day. I still remember our first meeting. I was an awkward college student, ducking into a coffee shop to escape a downpour. She sat by the window reading a book, wearing a bright yellow raincoat with droplets sliding off her hood onto the pages. She looked up, and I drowned in her storm-grey eyes. That's when I understood love at first sight. Not butterflies like in novels, but a deafening silence where the world stops, leaving only you and her gaze. Our relationship unfolded fast but naturally. We were easy together. We could sit quietly for hours in the same room, a comfortable silence full of understanding. We knew each other without words. I sensed her sadness behind a smile. She felt my exhaustion and would rest her head on my shoulder, making it vanish. We were one. At least I'd believe that. Elena was an interior designer, creative, ethereal, finding beauty in ordinary things. An old chair I'd trashed became art in her hands. She'd talk for hours about textures, light, how shadows moved in a room. I'd listen, amazed and envious of how deeply she felt the world. I was grounded a structural engineer. Numbers, blueprints, calculations were my language. We were yin and yang, earth and sky. Perfect. I gave her stability. She gave my life color. Then, slowly, things shifted. Elena went out more evenings. New friends, a creative collective, she called it. I didn't mind. I was happy she had inspiration. She'd return late, radiant, babbling about ideas and her deeply intuitive friends. "They get life, Alex," she'd say. I'd smile, thinking how lucky I was. Sometimes she asked me to pick her up. Her collective met at a friend's country house, hard to reach late at night. I never refused. I loved those drives, empty roads, soft music, her tired but happy voice filling the car with dreams. That night started normally. She called midday. "Alex? Hey. We're wrapping up a big project tonight, sort of a party. Can you pick me up around 2 a.m.? Of course, sweetheart." "Same place?" "Yeah." "Thanks, love. You're the best." Her voice was light. I smiled. I spent the evening alone, watched a movie, read. Time crawled. Around midnight, unease hit me, a heavy, inexplicable dread. 2 a.m. felt far away. Then it struck me. Surprise her. Arrive early. Swing by her favorite 24-hour bakery. Grab warm chocolate croissants. She'd light up. I pictured her running out, me handing her the bag, her eating it like a kid in the car, fingers chocolate-stained. The thought warmed me. I drove out under a cool, quiet sky. The city slept. The bakery's buttery scent confirmed my plan. Croissants in hand, I headed toward the country. The road wound past dark suburbs. I drove slowly, savoring the calm. There it was, the familiar turn. A brick house behind a tall fence. I parked around the corner like always. Lights were on, but no music. Odd for a party. Usually laughter spilled out. Tonight, silence. Bag in hand, I walked to the gate. Unlocked. I slipped into the yard. The living room had huge uncovered windows. I crept closer, not wanting to intrude, just to check on her before waiting in the car. Then I looked inside. What I saw didn't compute. A nightmare. A surreal film. My cozy, predictable life exploded. The room glowed with lamplight. A throne-like chair stood center stage. And there sat my Elena. My gentle, airy Elena. But it wasn't her. Her face, her posture, her all foreign. Terrifying. She lounged back, legs crossed, in a tight black dress I'd never seen. Her usually messy bun was an intricate updo. A cold, arrogant smirk twisted her lips. Her eyes I loved held cruel amusement. Around her on floor cushions sat her creative friends, 10 people. They gazed up at her with fearful admiration. Among them a man, handsome, polished in an expensive suit. He knelt closest, at her feet, staring with slave-like devotion. Nausea washed over me. He took her hand and slowly, ritualistically kissed her knuckles. Elena didn't glance at him. She lazily stroked his hair like a pet. The contempt, the power in that gesture, I couldn't breathe. I stood frozen, fingers digging into the cold windowsill. The croissant bag thudded to the ground. I felt nothing but an internal detonation. Who is this woman? This wasn't a party. It was theatre. My wife was queen. The rest, her subjects. She spoke. I couldn't hear, but everyone tensed. The man at her feet flinched. She leaned down, whispered in his ear. He paled. She laughed a low, icy sound that crawled down my spine. A stranger's laugh. I stumbled back, dizzy, tripped over the bag, ran to my car. My hands shook so badly I fumbled the key. I drove home on autopilot. That image burned. Eleanor on her throne, the man kissing her hand. It wasn't just jealousy. Jealousy was there, sharp and hot, but worse was the horror. Horror that I'd lived 7 years with someone I didn't know, the woman in that chair and my tender Lenatu people sharing one body. Home, I sat in our cozy kitchen. It felt alien now. Our chairs, her Daisy Mughal props, decorations. Her real life was in that house with people who feared and adored her. At exactly 2 a.m. my phone lit up. My love. My heart dropped. I stared, then answered. Yeah? Alex? Where are you? I'm ready. Her voice was normal, tired, sweet, no cruelty. Almost there, I lied, steadying my voice. 5 minutes, okay, waiting by the gate. Love you. Click. I drove back, numb. What would I say? How could I look at her? She stood by the gate, wrapped in her old scarf. She smiled her warm smile. Hey, love, freezing out here. She kissed my cheek and got in. How was it? I asked, the words hollow. Oh, amazing. She bubbled. So many ideas. We discussed this complex new concept. She chattered. I watched the road, seeing only the window scene. I was driving home a stranger playing my wife. The next days were hell. Constant tension. I watched her, studied her, hunting for the other, Elena. Nothing. At home she was unchanged. Caring, loving, distracted. She made breakfast, asked about my day. We watched movies. But everything was poisoned. Every word, every gesture felt staged. I'd look at her, try picturing her on that throne, commanding, smirking coldly. I couldn't. The images wouldn't merge. I stopped sleeping, woke from nightmares of her icy laugh. I'd watch her sleeping face peaceful, familiar, and felt ripped apart. Who are you, Elena? I started my own pathetic investigation, felt like a spy in my home. I checked her phone while she showered, heart pounding. Nothing. Normal texts, friends, mom, work, no secret societies. Checked her laptop. Clean. She was either a genius at hiding things or I'd imagined it all, but I hadn't. I remembered every detail, the cold windowsill, her expression, the man at her feet. A week later she announced another collective night. I kissed her goodbye, wished her well. The second the door shut, I grabbed my keys and followed. I parked around the corner again, too scared to approach the windows, sat for hours, watching lit panes, feeling hollow. Guests finally left, one by one. I saw him, the man, alone. He looked defeated, exhausted. Elena emerged last, not calling a cab. Her friend, someone I vaguely knew, pulled up. They drove toward the city. She hadn't planned to call me tonight. I followed. They didn't go home. They stopped at a quiet downtown bar. I parked across the street, watched. They sat by the window. Another transformation. The queen was gone. Elena slumped, shoulders down. She talked, tears streaming. Her friend hugged her. My cruel queen wept like a hurt child. What did it mean? Was the game exhausting her? Was it part of the act? My head spun. I got home first. Sat in the dark kitchen. Alex, why are you up? She flicked the light on. She flicked. Eyes red, swollen. Everything okay? I kept calm. Just tired. Emotional night. She hugged my neck. I love you so much, Alex. You're my anchor. She trembled. I hugged her back. I held her body, knew her soul was elsewhere. I held 2 women, my fragile Lena and the cold stranger. Both cried on my shoulder. I couldn't live like this. This double life was destroying us. I had to talk, learn the truth, however terrible. I waited days rehearsing. Elena, we need to talk. Elena, I know. All sounded stupid. The moment came Sunday. Sunny Park, coffee. Heavy silence replaced our old comfort. Elena, I rasped, tell me about the collective. She flinched, fear flashed in her eyes. What's to tell? Design? Projects? No. The truth. I held her gaze. She looked away. I don't know what you mean. I was there, I whispered. The night you asked for a 2 a.m. pickup. I came early. I saw. She went white. Her coffee cup clattered to the pavement, dark stains spreading. She stared at it. You... Saw? Yes. I saw you in that chair, saw that man kiss your hand, saw how you looked at them. Silence. An eternity. Birds chirped, kids laughed, our world crumbled. It's not what you think, she finally whispered, then explained, because I can't. I look at you and see a stranger. Who are you? She looked up. Tears. Not remorse. Exhaustion. Resentment. You wouldn't understand, she said. You're too... simple. Too straight. Those words hit harder than infidelity. Too simple. The person I thought was my soulmate saw me as basic. Try, I insisted. I deserve the truth. She took a shaky breath. It's a game, Alex. Just a game. We're tired of grey, boring lives. Tired of being someone, good employees, good daughters, good wives. There, we can be different. Take off masks or put on new ones. The mask of a cruel queen? I scoffed bitterly. Yes, that too. It lets out what's inside. The anger, the exhaustion, the disappointment. I'm not Elena, your wife there. I'm someone else. I make rules. I control emotions. It's intoxicating, powerful, something real life lacks. And the man, Victor? She gave a twisted smile. He likes those games. Likes to submit. We all have roles. We help each other. Live what we can't live here. Then we leave, and we're ordinary again. It's theater, therapy. Therapy? I choked. Elena, what I saw looked like a cult. You saw their faces. They were afraid. They're not afraid. They're awed. It's the game. They want it. It makes them feel alive. You wouldn't get it, Alex. Your world is blueprints and math. Ours is emotion, feeling, nuance. No malice. Just a statement. That hurt most. A chasm between us. Unbridgeable. What about us? I asked softly. Is our life a game too? The loving wife, Rolly, are you bored with it? She was silent, stared into space, two people warring in her eyes, my Lena and the other. I love you, Alex, she finally said. Truly. What we have. It's my safe harbor. Where I come back, you're my anchor. Anchor. Harbor. I was a function. A convenient, reliable home base. A place to rest between games. Part of her set dressing, not her life. Something broke inside me then. 7 years of love, tenderness, admiration, gone. Only hollow coldness and bitter disappointment remained. I stood up. I can't do this, Elena. I can't live knowing you have another real life out there. I can't be your safe harbor. I can't look at you and wonder who you are today, my wife or the queen from someone else's play. What are you saying? Fear in her eyes. I'm saying it's over. I walked away. Didn't look back. Heard her cry. Call my name. I kept walking, away from my 7-year illusion. Life after wasn't easier, just empty. I moved out. Divorce was quick, quiet. She didn't fight. Guess she knew her simple, straight husband couldn't accept her dark side. Months blurred. Work, home, repeat. A mechanical existence. A desert inside. Her words haunted me. You're too simple. Was she right? Too basic to grasp her creative depth? I replayed everything. Saw clues I'd missed. Mood swings I blamed on stress. Odd, detached jokes I didn't get. Her love for thrillers about manipulators. Little warnings ignored because I loved the bright image I'd painted. I avoided her, but we bumped into each other at a store a year later. She looked tired, dimmed. The queen and the fairy were gone. Just an ordinary, worn-out woman. Hi, she said. Hi. Awkward silence. How are you? Okay. Working. You? I don't go to the collective anymore. Why? I asked flatly. It stopped bringing joy without you. Nothing made sense. Not even the games. Turns out my safe harbor wasn't just a harbor. It was the anchor keeping me afloat. Now, I'm adrift. Just emptiness. She looked at me, hopeful, maybe expecting me to suggest starting over. I felt nothing, no pity, no anger, no love. Burned out. I'm sorry, was all I said. I nodded goodbye and walked away. I didn't look her up. Slowly, life normalized. The pain dulled to a scar. I learned solitude, noticed simple things again, morning coffee, sun on my face, autumn leaves. My simple, straight life wasn't a flaw anymore. I valued its honesty, clarity, stability. That night shattered everything I believed in, but paradoxically, it saved me. It woke me up. The scariest monsters aren't hiding in the dark. They live inside people we think we know best. I learned to look past facades. Better to be alone in an honest world than trapped together in a beautiful lie. The price was high 7 years and a broken heart. But I don't regret it. I know real reality now. It's not always pleasant, but it's honest. And that's what matters. 2 years passed. 2 years of quiet. I found peace in it. My life settled into predictable rhythms. Work, home, occasional friends. My small apartment became my fortress. I renovated it myself, choosing simple, real materials. Wood, stone. No fakes, no lies. Weekends I spent at my grandfather's old cabin. I fixed the roof, replaced windows, turned the shed into a workshop. The smell of sawdust and machine oil became my new world. I salvaged old furniture, rickety chairs, peeling dressers, giving them new life. Hours sanding, staining, varnishing. Honest work, taking broken things and making them whole. Tangible results, something real, unlike Elena's nuance. I rarely thought of her. When her image surfaced, laughing with messy hair or cold and imperious, the pain was dull. Faded photographs. The heart scar was numb. I tried dating. Nice women, but I studied them like specimens. Filtered every word, every gesture through my bitter lens, hunting for hidden motives, masks where none existed. I became distrustful, suspicious. One woman said sadly, "You always seem braced for a hit, Alex. I don't want to hit you." She was right. My life was a bunker, door locked from inside. Loneliness was the price of safety. I paid it. One evening, reviewing blueprints, my phone rang. Unknown number. I usually ignore them. Something made me answer. "Hello? Alex? Alex, is that you?" A voice choked with tears, but familiar. Elena's mom, Anna. We'd always gotten along. A warm, down-to-earth woman who'd welcomed me like a son. After the divorce, I'd called her a few times for holidays, then stopped. Didn't want to reopen wounds. "Anna, hello. What's wrong?" "Alex, forgive me for calling. I have no one else." She sobbed. My gut clenched. "Calm down. What happened? Is Elena okay?" "She's gone, Alex. A week. No calls. Phone off. I went to her apartment. No one answers. I don't know what to think. Her friends? Did you call them?" "I called. Everyone I knew. No one knows anything. They say she stopped talking to everyone, shut down. I went to the police. They said, adult woman. Maybe she went somewhere. They took a report, but don't care. Alex, please help me. You know her best." That last line stung. Know her best. Bitter irony. I hadn't known her at all. Anna, Anna. "We haven't been together for years," I started, feeling like a heel. I wanted to refuse, not my battle. I'd barely escaped that war. "I know, son, I know. And I'm so grateful for what you did for her. You were her only anchor. You kept her grounded. Without you." She flew off. I felt something was wrong. She became a stranger. Nervous. Now this. "Please, Alex, try to find out something. You're smart, level-headed." Her despair cracked my stone heart. I hated my weakness. Picturing this grieving woman, I knew I couldn't refuse, couldn't live with it. "Okay," I exhaled. "Okay, Anna. I'll try. No promises, but I'll try. Thank you, Alex, thank you. I knew I could count on you. I hung up, staring into space. The silence in my apartment felt sinister. The past I'd walled up had kicked down the door. I started at her apartment. Anna said she'd left spare keys with the neighbor. The address was painfully familiar. Same courtyard, same playground, same building. My body remembered the door code, the steps to her floor. The neighbor, an elderly woman who remembered me from our wedding, handed me the keys, shaking her head sadly. Sweet Elena. Gone. Such a quiet girl. Lately, though. Strange? Visitors? Late at night? Not loud. Quiet, like shadows. Creepy. I thanked her and opened the door. The smell hit first. Expensive perfume, dust, and something sour. Neglect. The apartment was chaos, not creative clutter, oppressive disorder, clothes strewn, books, papers on the floor, dirty dishes, unheard of for her. Even at her worst, she kept surface order. I went to the bedroom. Her laptop sat on the desk. Open, no password. Files, chats, nothing. Same sterile emptiness as 2 years ago. Work messages, mom, mundane links, like a ghost used it. I searched thoroughly. In a desk drawer, a stack of business cards, designers, furniture stores, contractors. One stood out, thick black cardstock. No words. Just a silver-embossed Symbol snake biting its tail, twisted into an infinity sign. Ouroboros. Eternal cycle. I flipped it. A penciled address on the back, country address. That address. So she'd gone back, or never stopped. I found nothing else, just the heavy feeling of abandonment and that black card. Leaving, I called a number from her phone 2 years prior. Marina. The friend she'd cried with at the bar. Maybe she knew something. Long rings. A sleepy voice answered. Yeah? Marina? Hi, Alex. Elena's ex-husband. Pause. Alex. Surprise. Alarm. What's wrong? Elena's missing. A week. No one's seen her. Missing? She sounded awake now. I didn't know. We barely talked this past year. Why? It's complicated. After your divorce. She changed. First devastated. Then she got back with them. I warned her. Said it wouldn't end well. Those games. They consumed her. She became hard. Cynical. I was scared to talk to her. Last time was 6 months ago. She called drunk, screaming about betrayal, being alone. Hung up. I tried calling back. No answer. Them? People from that collective? The country house? Yes, but it's not a collective, Alex. It's quicksand. They call themselves family, but they aren't. Everyone's out for themselves, playing dangerous games with feelings. Victor runs it. Victor? The one who... Yeah, the loyal servant. That was the game. He pulled the strings. He finds people like Elena lost, talented, broken inside, gives them what they lack: power, belonging, then drains them. Elena thought she was queen. She was his pawn. He fed on her pain, on her emotions. Ice filled my veins. My simple gut had been right. This was uglier than games. After your divorce, losing her anchor, she became completely dependent. She tried to break free. He wouldn't let go. Push-pull, his favorite game. Where can I find Victor? I don't know. I deleted all contacts, wanted to forget. He's wealthy. He's some antiquities business. The house? Is it his? No. Belongs to some rich heiress in the group. But Victor ran it. Alex, don't go there. Please, they're dangerous. They'll break you. I have to. Her mother's frantic. I need to finish this. I drove to the address on the card that night. Same road, same sleepy suburbs. No anticipation now, just cold resolve. The familiar turn. I parked around the corner again. Only one downstairs light on. The gate was locked. High fence. Imposing. I circled it. Behind wild lilac bushes, fence sections were downstorm damage. A gap. I crawled through. The yard was overgrown. Weeds, unraked leaves. The house looked abandoned except for that light. I crept to the living room window. Curtains drawn tight. A small gap at the bottom. I crouched, peered in. The room was bare. No throne, no cushions. Just stacked chairs. A table. A man sat there, back to me. Expensive suit. Perfect hair. Victor. He was on the phone. Voice low. Smooth. Yes, I understand. No trace. She vanished. Of course I'm concerned. She was. A valuable asset. Probably just started a new life. We know how impulsive she is. Yes, I'll update you. He hung up, leaned back, sat still, then stood, poured dark liquor at a bar, downed it. I saw his face reflected in the glass cabinet door, contorted with rage and fear. Suddenly he spun, headed for the door. I ducked behind a juniper bush. The front door slammed. Victor stepped onto the porch, lit a cigarette. Smoke jetted from his nostrils. He scanned the dark yard. His gaze seemed to linger on my bush. My heart stopped. He turned away, paced. My chance. Talking was useless. He lied on the phone. He'd lied to me. I needed inside. I waited until he went back in. Circled to the kitchen side, found a window cracked open. I pulled out the utility knife I carried for workshop projects, carefully pried the frame. A few moves and it gave. I slipped inside. The house smelled like Elena's apartment dust and neglect. I kicked off my shoes, padded down the hall towards the living room. The door was ajar. Victor sat at the table again, back to me, staring at his phone. I headed upstairs. The stairs creaked. I froze with each step. He didn't react. Upstairs bedrooms were empty, messy. In the largest I saw familiar things on a vanity. A brush with strands of light hair Elena's, her perfume bottle, open compact. Like she'd stepped out momentarily. She wasn't here. I searched methodically. Her dresses hung in the closet, including that tight black one. I touched it. Cold. Snakeskin slick. In the nightstand drawer I found it, a small notebook, Elena's journal. I opened it. Jagged, frantic handwriting, words jumping lines. Not a journal, a chronicle of collapse. He told me I was nothing again. Said without him I'm nobody. Just a pretty doll he found in the trash and cleaned up. I laughed in his face, played the queen. When he left, I cried all night. He's right. Without him I'm nothing. Without Alex I'm nothing. I lost my anchor. Now I'm adrift. Victor is the storm sinking my ship. New game today. He brought a girl, young, scared, wanted me to break her, in front of everyone. I did it, said horrible things, saw the light die in her eyes, hated myself more than ever. He watched, smiled. He feeds on pain. I'm his chef. I tried to leave. Packed. He found me, didn't yell, didn't threaten, sat beside me, said, "You think you can live without this? Look at yourself. Who wants you out there in their simple, straight world? You're poisoned. You belong to me." I stayed, because he's right. I'm poisoned. The last entry was a week ago. Found his secret place. Basement. Behind the old wine rack. Horrible things. Photos. Videos. Other girls. Some gone. I know who he is. Not a player. A monster. We're his butterfly collection, pinned down. I have to run, but not just run. Stop him. Took one thing. Proof. He can't know. Hiding it. Then I vanish. If something happens, look where it started for me and Alex. Where you hide from the rain. My breath caught. Where you hide from the rain. The coffee shop. Our first meeting. She'd left something there, footsteps on the stairs. Victor was coming. I shoved the journal in my pocket, lunged for the window. No exit. I scrambled under the bed, huge, heavy comforter touching the floor. My heart hammered against my ribs. The door opened. I saw his polished shoes. He paced, stopped at the vanity, went to the closet, opened it. Hangers scraped. He was searching. He swore, loud, vile. Where is it? Where's that damn journal? He tore through the room. Overturned things, swept everything off the vanity, glass shattered. So that's why you ran, you bitch. Playing detective. He kicked the nightstand. It crashed against the wall. I'll find you, he hissed. I'll find you, and you'll wish you'd never been born. He stormed out. I heard him pound downstairs, slam the front door, heard his car screech away. I crawled out, shaking, covered in dust, but alive. And I had the key to saving Elena, to ending this. I had to hurry. He might figure out the place too. The coffee shop hadn't changed much. Same round tables, same cozy lamps, just trendier now, with a tacky poster on the wall. I went to that window table, empty, where you hide from the rain. What did she mean? I examined the table, the seat, nothing, looked at the windowsill, old wood peeling paint. In the corner a board was slightly loose. I pried it up with a fingernail. It lifted easily. Underneath, a hollow. Inside, a flash drive. Plain. Cheap. I clenched it in my fist. This tiny plastic held lives, deaths, Elena's fate. I drove home checking the rearview mirror constantly. No one followed. Home, I plugged the drive into my laptop. One folder, video files, scanned documents. I opened the first video. The country house living room. Different setup, different people. Victor sat center. A young woman knelt before him. He spoke to her, low, almost tender. His words froze my blood, not pressure. Systematic personality destruction. I couldn't finish. Opened another file, security footage. A dark basement. Victor and another man dragging a limp girl's body. The same girl. I gagged, shut it down. Too much. Too much for an engineer from a world of straight lines, absolute evil. Elena had faced it. Tried to fight it. I knew what to do. Copied the files. Original to a safe deposit box. Copy to the police, not the local precinct. Major crimes. Told them everything. Showed the journal. Named Victor. They listened intently. Understood this wasn't just a missing person. I waited. Days crawled. Couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. Called Anna. Lied about leads. Told her to hang on. Day 3. The detective called. Alex. We got him. Victor. At the airport. Trying to flee the country. And we found her. Elena? I breathed. Alive? Alive? Condition? Critical. He kept her in an abandoned house out of town. Severe malnutrition. She needs serious help. Psychiatric? She's hospitalized. Won't speak. Just repeats one name. Yours. Can I see her? I think you should. Maybe she'll talk to you. I'll send the address. The hospital room. White walls. White sheets. Antiseptic smell. A small skeletal figure lay curled on the bed, facing away. I walked softly. Elena? She turned slowly. I didn't recognize her. An old woman's face, sunken eyes in parchment skin, dull, lifeless hair, and emptiness. A gaze seeing nothing. Alex? A whisper, lips barely moving. You came. I came. He found me. Her voice rustled like dry leaves. I hid. He found me. Said I'd never be free. He was my fate. No, I sat on the bed edge. It's over, Elena. He's arrested. He can't hurt you again. She looked at me. Deep in her eyes a flicker. Not hope. Awareness. You found the drive? Yes. You were brave. You saved others too. A tear traced her cheek. I wanted to be strong, she whispered. Played at strength. Was so weak. Wanted control. Was controlled, destroyed everything, our life, myself. You need rest. I covered her icy hand with mine. You need to heal. It'll be okay. She gave a faint smile. You're too simple, Alex. Too good. Forgive me. She closed her eyes. I sat with her a while, then left. The doctor waited in the hall. It's a long road, he said. Physically, we'll get her back, but the psychological trauma. Deep. She'll need time, strength, and someone patient. Strong by her side. I nodded. I understood. I walked out. Sunlight. Life went on. People rushed, laughed, talked. Their simple, straight world existed alongside the nightmare I'd just left. I stood thinking, what now? I could leave. Return to my quiet fortress. I'd done all I could. Found her. Helped catch the monster. Mission accomplished. I owed her nothing. But the doctor's words echoed. She'll need someone by her side. I looked at my hands. Engineer's hands. Hands that fixed broken things. I remembered an old splintered chair I'd salvaged. Glued it piece by piece. Sanded, strengthened. It held weight again. Served its purpose. Maybe people can be fixed too? Maybe, with patience and care, gathering the pieces, someone can be made whole again. I didn't know. Wasn't sure I had the strength. Wasn't sure I still loved her. That love was dead. But something else stirred. Tenderness. Pity. Responsibility. The feeling a craftsman has for a unique, complex, shattered piece only he can save. I looked back at her hospital window. I didn't know what waited. Years of pain? Disappointment? Failure? Maybe I'd break too. But I knew one thing. I couldn't leave her. Not now. My safe harbor no longer felt secure, because harbors exist for ships to return, even ships broken by storms. I took a deep breath, turned, and walked back into the hospital. Not towards my ex-wife. Not towards the cruel queen or the broken victim. I walked towards a person lost in darkness, holding a small, dim, but singular lantern that might show her the way home.